East meets West once again in AA high school basketball in South Dakota. It's game 2 of our doubleheader. The Rapid City Central Cobbler boys will take on the Lincoln Patriots. A crossover weekend of sorts, as both Stevens and Central are in Sioux Falls. Stevens is over at Roosevelt High School, just down 41st. You can also catch that doubleheader on Midwest Sports TV tonight. But here in the Lincoln Gymnasium, we've got the number 1 ranked team in AA, the Lincoln Patriots, getting set to tango with the visiting Cobblers. I'm Zach Borg, once again with my producer, Chad Berger, as we're set for another game of action with the number 1 ranked team in the state, the AA Lincoln Patriots. They were started the year ranked number 1, and they have lived up to the billing, 6-0, and a pretty dominant 6-0 at that. Their first game against Washington was a struggle. They only won by 7. Since then, they've been blowing the doors off people, including a 72-37 victory over Pierre on Tuesday night in the capital city, in which Sam Erickson passed Chris Schwartz to become the all-time three-point leader in Lincoln High School history, made his 131st career three in that game. And tonight the Patriots will look to get to 7-0, a team that finished 3rd last year at state. And as we spoke to them at practice earlier in the week, it's a connected team. They don't really care about the rankings. They don't really care what the record is at this point. They have one thing in mind, and it's certainly the end goal in March and taking care of a little unfinished business.
This year we're really selfless, and the number 1 goal is winning. Individual stats couldn't mean less, honestly, with us. We care about each other and winning. That's pretty much it.
More connected this year. We are always sharing the ball, always are making sure everyone's in the right spots, defending well. I think it's just more connection, really.
Well, obviously Julius Duran's a really good player. When you watch his highlights, you see he can score at all 3 levels, and he's got size to him, and so he's a challenge. They have a bunch of guards that are quick and work hard and can shoot the basketball and can drive to the hole, and then some other guys that are big on the boards and play hard. And so we just got to make sure that we're focusing on keeping those guys out of the paint for us for the most part, and force them into long shots that are contested, and then finishing with a block out.
This year we're really selfless, and
And as you can see that sign on the Coach Hanneman's shirt, nobody cares, work harder. That's kind of their motto this season, as in his 2nd year, they are the prohibitive favorite right now to win the state title. Pretty good scouting report of what to expect tonight from Rapid City Central, a team that started this year 2-0 with wins over Aberdeen and Pierre, but they've had some hard luck losses by 4 at Huron. In the game we also had at Mitchell, they lost by 9, and then just on Tuesday night, a 5-point loss at Sturgis. So a 2-4 record that's very deceiving. They've got a quality player in Julius Duran, who's averaging 11 points a game, and Preston Yellow averaging 14 points. So we'll see if the visitors can perhaps pull a stunner and give the Patriots a battle. We'll take a break, get to the starting lineups, and get this one going. You're watching the Bear Health Game of the Week on Midwest Sports Plus.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, we turn that opportunity into progress through unbiased research, education that empowers, and a community that lifts each other higher. SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're leading with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Finding a place to belong is everything. It's where you can make a difference, where you're heard, where you have a team that supports you, and the benefits you deserve. At Avera, you can find that place. You belong at Avera. Apply today. Avera.org/careers.
Sioux Falls on a Friday night in the winter means it's ball night. And we've got a pretty good crowd on hand for this one between Rapid City Central and the top-ranked Lincoln Patriots. You can see in our shot here, but that student section, which is behind Lincoln where they're shooting right now as they're warming up, we're getting set to introduce the starting lineups. That student section stretches all the way to the back wall. And the home side as well, behind the bench, is pretty full. Pretty good crowd also from Rapid City Central came over for this game as well. The girls' game, of course, just wrapping up. You saw that here on Midwest Sports Plus with the visiting Cobblers picking up a 52-26 victory in that one. Let's get to the starting lineups. First for the visiting Cobblers, who, as I mentioned, come into this season at 2-4. Last year they were 8-13, lost to Mitchell on the Sodak 16. TJ Hay, their head coach, a former Lincoln Patriot. Connor Burchell is their assistant. He was a star in this gymnasium, and you'll see if he can help lead an upset of his alma mater. Noah Hammerbeck, Josh Mock, and Vince Spees, the assistants. That starting lineup, Preston Yellow, a 5'10 junior guard. Sean Smith, a 5'11 senior guard. Logan Sonderland, 6-foot senior guard. Owen Bissonette, 6'4 forward senior. And Julius Duran, a 6'4 senior as well. Duran was their leading scorer a year ago. He had some injury issues earlier in the year. We did not see him start at Mitchell. He actually came off the bench, was clearly ailing in that one. So far this year, Duran averaging 11 points. Leads the team with 27 rebounds total. They're also getting a lot from Preston Yellow, who has 14 points per game, 10 blocks. Sean Smith averages about 8 points. He has 16 rebounds. A lot of the production coming from the starting lineup. They could use a little bit more off their bench. Waylon Benbow, the quality football player, gives him a nice lift off the bench with about 5 points per game. Also has 8 steals. Well, let's get to the starting lineup for Lincoln, as they're just now introducing the Rapid City Central Cobblers, but we'll get to the Lincoln starting lineup in advance. A lot of talent on this team, and a couple of returning All-Staters, a couple of guys who will be playing college basketball this time next year. Brody Schaefer, he runs the point, the junior 6-footer. He's, of course, committed to play football at quarterback for South Dakota State. Of course, he'll be back next year to play for that Patriot football team. Owen Duffy plays on the wing. He's a 6'1 senior. Then you get to the Sams. Sam DeGroat, a 6'7 forward center combo, if you will. He is averaging 20 points per game this year, just a hair under 21, actually. Almost 9 rebounds per game, also has 14 assists. And the big fella is shooting 45% from 3. Remember, he was a first-team All-Stater last year after averaging 14.4 points a game and 6 rebounds. He's up those totals this year, and he is signed to go play at Augustana, as is his teammate, Sam Erickson, a 6'1 senior guard. He is averaging just under 12 points a game and 5 rebounds with 19 assists. And again, as I mentioned in the pregame, he became the career leader in three-pointers with 131 on Tuesday night in their win over Pierre, passing Chris Schwartz and the other starter, Brady Knorr, a 6'1 junior. He's averaging 9 points. Again, there's a lot of talent on this team. Both Sams are heading to Augustana next year. We're going to have a feature story on them next week, so look for that on Midwest Sports Plus, and we'll certainly have it in some of our halftime shows as well. But the Sams aren't the only problem you have on this team, which is coached by Luke Hammond in his second year. Assistants Jared Jensen, John Vining, Daniel Clevin, and Isaac Jarofsky. I mean, they bring a young man by the name of Jaden Henry off the bench who's committed to Dakota Wesleyan. Jaden has 15 points in 6 games. And oh, by the way, they're getting a little healthier. Lucas Honor, another big guy in their lineup, 6'4". He's only played in about 3 games due to an injury that's carried over from football season, but they expect him to become much more of a contributor as he gets back into the lineup and healthy once again. Well, we are all just about set. Looks like they're setting some things up at the scorer's table. We'll have DeGroat and Bissonette at the tap. Number 1 ranked Lincoln, 6-0. Again, last season they finished 3rd in the state, went 22-2, lost a heartbreaker in the quarterfinals to Mitchell, 55-51. And as you heard in our pregame show, it's a team that feels like they're even more connected and close this year, a lot of chemistry. The Sams are obvious, DeGroat and Erickson, but a lot of depth on this team, too, is the other thing that stood out when I spoke to them and when you watch them practice. Obviously, DeGroat and Erickson are probably the 2 guys you have to key on the most, but Schaefer can fill it up. Duffy, Knorr, and then you bring guys off the bench like Landon Monk and Jaden Henry, Everett Starks. A lot of depth and a very difficult team to contain. No more containing this one. We are underway. The tap won by Lincoln. Game 2 of our doubleheader underway. Here comes Sam DeGroat. Euro step through. Soft touch for Sam DeGroat. As I mentioned, he averages just a hair under 21 points a game, and he breaks the seal on this one. Well, another thing to watch for here as Bissonette thinks about the three, but will pass it up instead. Lincoln is dominant in the first quarter of games. Obviously, they've had a lot of blowouts. Throw up with the left hand, a little wild there from Logan Sonderland, and here come the Patriots once again. In the first quarter combined in their games this season, Lincoln has outscored opponents 118-59. They've doubled them up. Wild shot up by Schaefer. DeGroat fighting for the rebound, but it will come instead to Sean Smith. Quickly back the other way. Had a screen, did Sonderland, but didn't take it. Now here's Yellow. He led them the other night. He's their leading scorer so far. Spin, scoop, up and in. Pretty shot and make by Preston Yellow. As I mentioned, he's averaging 14 points per game. He had 19 in their 5-point loss at Sturgis on Tuesday. Here's DeGroat along the wing. He can play really well on the post, but he can also hit from the wing as well, shooting 45% from three. That actually leads them, although Erickson is their main three-point guy. Erickson, nice pass inside, but it was fumbled away by Owen Duffy. It looked like a Cobbler actually got a hand on it. We take a look at that spin and scoop by Preston Yellow on our replay. 11 on the shot clock here. DeGroat open for three. You bet. I don't think that thing touched much nylon on its way down. Sam DeGroat as the first five for the Patriots, who lead 5-2. And a quick turnover. They get it ahead. Here's DeGroat. Thought he was maybe going to have a chance to dunk. Instead, he finishes with the left hand. And he's up to 7 right away. 7-2. Got to take care of the basketball. That's something Coach Hay will say all the time about his team as Duran puts up an air ball. But it's especially true here. Schaefer driving the lane with the left hand. Just a little strong. Boy, this place is about ready to explode with that student section. Duran, three from the corner rather, is good. And Julius Duran is on the board. Much needed bucket for the Cobblers. 7-5. Schaefer, he's been very active offensively. Kick in the corner. Three answer on the way. No. Fight for the rebound. Won by Owen Duffy. Back to DeGroat. There's his first miss of the game. Sean Smith coming away with the rebound. Cobblers pushing. They do have some numbers. Now they got to slow it down. Fake of the three on the wing. Driving along the baseline. Floater up. Good looking shot by Preston Yellow, but he got a little too much iron. DeGroat in the high post. Looking for some screens. There's a three on the way. Front iron, no. Offensive rebound, one by Owen Duffy, who shovels it to Sam DeGroat. And DeGroat, one of his nicknames from his teammates, DeGoat. Well, for good reason today. He has all 9 points at the start of this one, and we're only 3.5 minutes in. 9-5, Lincoln on top. Smith in some trouble underneath. Works his way out of it, puts it off the window, but cannot get it to fall. Here comes DeGroat. A little bit of a crossover. Now he'll kick out to Knorr. They work it around, looking for Erickson in the corner. He works the baseline. Finds the other Sam for the layup. The Sams making it happen. DeGroat has all 11. It's 11-5. Bear in mind, he averages just under 21 points. Feels like he's going to have that by halftime at this pace. Oh, behind back steal, but it goes right to DeGroat. Schaefer bringing it up, step through, put it up and in. That's his first points, and Rapid City Central's TJ Hay going to call a timeout as the Patriots are off and running. It's 13-5. It's a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here on Midwest Sports Plus. We've got a busy weekend of action. Take a look at DeGroat with that take and make in the right hand as he is in his bag right now, as the kids would say. A few more highlights here. DeGroat then splash a three. He can do it from inside and outside. I mentioned again, 45% from three. It's actually 45.5, so those percentages likely going up And here off the great feed, just everywhere in this opening quarter. Bear in mind, he was an all-stater last year, first team, when he averaged 14 points and 6 rebounds per game. He's scoring even higher clip this year, about 7 points more per game and 2 more rebounds. Cody Schilling and Augustana Vikings, they will be playing this weekend. They got Northern State tomorrow in a big one. I think Cody, if he's watching this, he's got to be getting pretty eager to add that young man to his lineup. Well, Rapid City Central had pulled within 2, but a quick little run. They need some buckets. There's Benbow off the bench. That one dances and drops. Waylon Benbow. I said he can be the guy who gives him a lift off the bench. Back the other way quickly for a 3, Everett Starks. You don't have much time if you don't get back in transition against this Lincoln team. It is 16-7. They will punch you right away in the first quarter. Again, doubling teams up in the opening quarter. Here's Duran stepping back for 3. Oh, that's spun in the cylinder and out, but an offensive rebound comes to Benbow. They'll reset. 2:50 to go in this opening frame. Here's a cut on the inside. A little hook shot, but it falls off the front rim for Owen Bissonette. That was a good look. He just didn't have enough to get it up there and get it in. Schaefer dancing around. Will throw a bit of a dangerous pass now to Grote. He had the first 11 points for the Patriots. Erickson, a couple of nice assists, but he's been kind of quiet in the post. To Grote backing in. Kicks it out. 3 ball on the way. Spun in and out. Everett Starks, who averages about 6 a game, hit it 3 moments ago. Back the other way in transition. Getting that one to go is Preston Yellow. Quickly a 3 on the way, and Starks making up for the one he missed. Everett Starks, who averages 6 points, is already up to 6 points. 16-9. Duran double team, gets it to Yellow for 3. Back iron, no. Rebound to Grote. Patriots want to run. Here comes Jaden Henry. He'll kick it back to Schaefer. Schaefer driving. He got hit over the arms. We'll see who they tagged that on. Might have been Duran, might have been Sonderland. They call it on Duran. There you see the long pass ahead to Everett Starks. As we're going to get a couple guys going to the bench here. Schaefer and the Sams. Erickson to Grote. They'll get presumably the last minute 41 to rest. So a bit of a chance here for Central. It's 19-9, although I mentioned this Lincoln team has great depth. But if you're Central, you're only down 10. You want to cut into that deficit here while those 3 are on the bench. Patriots working their offense with some reserves in right now. Ben Jensen kicks it back to Starks. He has 2 threes off the bench. Nice feed inside. Oh, that was a beauty. Landon Monk fed Brody Knorr, and Brody Knorr lays it in for 2. Take a look at the replay there. As nice wraparound pass from Landon Monk to set that one up. However, Monk gets tagged for a foul right away. It's 21-9. Patriots on top. Imagine that's one thing Coach Hay just had to tell his team is survive the opening storm. And, you know, if they can keep this thing within single digits after a quarter, granted they're down 12 now, if they can get it back down to single digits or within a respectable distance, you have to feel somewhat good about it. 3 in the corner on the way is too strong for Owen Bissonette. Here come the Patriots. This is Monk. Feeding to the top of the key. Jaden Henry. Now Monk again. Baseline. Another nice pass. That is just quality ball movement. And there's Lucas Honor. Young man who figures to be a big part of this team moving forward. The 6'4 senior forward. Recovering from a football injury. Stolen away. Stolen away by Knorr. Throws it up but draws the foul on Duran. He'll go to the line with 26.9 left. Take a look at the replay as we were talking about Honor being a football player. That was it looked a bit like a defensive back there, did Knorr, as he intercepted that one and very nearly had a run out. He'll get 2 free throws here. I mentioned just a moment ago as that one spun out and back in. I mentioned a moment ago, Rapid City Central had a little bit of an opening with more than about almost 2 minutes of time that you weren't going to have DeGroat, Erickson, and Schaefer on the floor. You're only down 10, but instead that lead is expanded to 24-9. Second free throw. Again, touches just about every part of the cylinder, but goes down. Both free throws good. Pressure defense from the Patriots. A lot of trouble there for Logan Sonderland. They throw it over and back. Turnover on the Cobblers. Everything going the way of the Patriots. Now they are going to bring back their starters. Schaefer, Duffy, DeGroat, and Erickson sensing a chance to end the quarter with some big momentum, which they've already built thanks to their bench. Inbound to Schaefer. Again, DeGroat's the one to watch. He has 11. Scored the first 11 for Lincoln. In the corner, 3 on the way. Front iron, no. Rebound to Rapid City. They still have time. Can they find Benbow? Wild pass, but he cannot save it. He is on the end line, out of bounds. They had him wide open, but the pass sailed. And now just 1.8 seconds left. We'll see if Lincoln can do something with it. Schaefer going to let it roll. Gets it over to DeGroat from half court. Oh, that nearly banked in. Well, that would have been fitting if it had dropped for Sam DeGroat, who had 11 in the opening quarter. But Lincoln, off and running, the number 1 team in the state, leads 25-9 after 1. You're watching the Bear Health Game of the Week on Midwest Sports Plus. Back in a moment for the second.
Finding a place to belong is everything. It's where you can make a difference, where you're heard, where you have a team that supports you and the benefits you deserve. At Avera, you can find that place. You belong at Avera. Apply today. Avera.org/careers.
Well, Sam DeGroat almost banked in a 3 from half court. I think that was basically his only miss of that quarter in which he scored 11. If he'd hit that, you might have heard a sonic boom in this gym. Everything going boom for the Patriots. They're up 25-9 as the Cobblers try to regroup. They really had a chance to get it down under 10. 3 on the way. Too strong. They had a chance to get it under 10 when Schaefer, DeGroat, and Erickson went to the bench. Instead, the reserves for Lincoln pushed that lead even higher. Here's a long 3 from Erickson. He did not have almost any shots in that opening quarter. Offensive rebound won by the Patriots. They're going to get a foul here on Rapid City Central. A heck of a fight there. DeGroat actually tipped that ball to Duffy, who came away with it amidst 3 Cobblers and then got hacked. Inbound to DeGroat, fighting his way, kick out on the wing, Trey Bien, good for Erickson, Sam to Sam. They worked a good combo in the first quarter with Erickson assisting DeGroat, and they flipped the script there. Sam Erickson on the board with his first 3, the 132nd in his career with Lincoln High School, upping his career leading total. Driving in and scooping that one up and in. Nicely done by Preston Yellow, who had 4 points in the opening quarter for the Cobblers. Ends a long scoreless streak for them. 3 on the way. It will rattle on down for Owen Duffy. That's got to be the frustrating part if you're a team that plays Lincoln, or you're Rapid City Central in this case. You get the bucket, but you just have no time to relax. They come right back down, and they'll cast it from any part of the court. Julius Duran, he thought about casting one, but he overthrows Owen Bissonette, and we've got a turnover. Here's Erickson on the wing. Thought about the 3, gets it to the other Sam. DeGroat in the low block. Skips it inside a little bit low on that pass, but goes back to Schaefer, who had to look for 3. Bounced around, won't fall. Rebound will be off of DeGroat. and it'll go to Rapid City Central. 31-21 our score. Lincoln putting on a show with a big home section, big student section cheering them on. You'll see them when they run across left to right on your dial. There you see it right there. Some vintage jerseys in the crowd. I even see a Vancouver Grizzlies. That franchise was well before most of these kids, well before any of these kids were born. I think it's about double the years before these kids were born. Working his way in and getting that one to go is Sean Smith, his first bucket of the game. First points as well. A little bit of a slow down here for Lincoln. This is as slow as they played, but nice little weave. Schaefer open for three. And if you're TJ Hay, you can't have that happen. Brody Schaefer's going to knock that down in his sleep. Full court press from the Patriots. Duran breaks it. Gets it into the corner. They thought about the three, did Sonderland. Gives it back to Duran. Duran, a lot of contact. Turned over, but then turned right back over to Rapid City as Benbow comes up with the steal. Rapid City Central kind of just holding the ball. I think they kind of want to just slow things down a little bit here at this point, as they've gotten the full court blitz from the Patriots. Three a little short from Sean Smith. DeGroat gets the rebound. He'll push in transition. On the wing, now they kick out all the way on the other end of the court. DeGroat wide open underneath. That was just good ball movement. And DeGroat has his first points of the second quarter after dropping 11. And he gets the steal here. He's running along the baseline. This could be hammer time. You bet! Sam DeGroat running the floor, punctuating it with a two-handed rim rocker. And the number one team in the state is showing it, up 38-13 on Midwest Sports Plus. Let's take a look at that replay. Yeah, DeGroat played tight end for the football team, but he might as well have been the defensive back there, picking off that pass and slamming it home. We got a timeout on the floor. Oh, no, I thought we had a timeout. Sorry about that. TJ Hay might want to just take a timeout, a few timeouts right now. It is all Patriots, 38-13. Sam DeGroat up to 15 points. Unless somebody goes nuclear here, I think Sam is probably going to be our St. Cloud State player of the game, but you never know. We'll see what happens. Bissonette spinning inside, kick out. Preston Yellow, three on the way. Got the back iron, no. Fight for the rebound, won by Rapid City Central. Another three ball on the way. Splash from Logan Sonderland. His first three of the game, first bucket of the game as well, and first points. 38-16. Under 4 minutes to go in this opening half, dominated by Sam DeGroat and the number one Patriots. In the post, Honor. Pass got partially tipped, but Lincoln maintains possession. DeGroat on the wing for three. Count it. Rattled around. I mean, the amazing thing is I feel like the only shot he's missed was the half quarter that missed by a fraction. It almost banked in. Drive, a lot of contact there, and Preston Yellow will go to the line. Sam DeGroat now up to 18 points. Let me take a look at that last drive by Yellow. Took the contact from Jaden Henry, and Yellow will head to the line. Take a look at TJ Hay on the opposing bench. Mentioned this team getting off to a good start with wins over Aberdeen and Pierre, but it's been a rough go ever since. Consecutive losses at 4 in a row. And on that bench for Rapid City Central, got to be a pretty emotional game for him, although it would be Connor Burchell, the former Lincoln Patriot. It was a great player for them during his time on both the hardwood and on the football field. Preston Yellow hits both free throws. He's up to 8 points. He leads the visiting Cobblers. They still trail 41-18. He'll get a break now on the bench. Three in the corner from Honor. Won't go. Offensive rebound. Won by Everett Starks. They'll swing it around again. Here comes Honor driving with the right hand, kisses it off the glass. And as if Lincoln doesn't present you with enough matchup problems, Lucas Honor is starting to look healthy. Stolen away for a moment. And Rapid City Central gets it right back. And now a foul called as Brody Knorr was in a little too tight on Sean Smith. 43-18 our score, 2:31 to go in the first half. Number 1 Lincoln rolling behind 18 points from Sam DeGroat. A substitution as Lincoln Williamson will check in for Waylon Benbow, who's been, as he was in football season, the guy is a grinder. He just does all the little things that make a team go. 3 on the way. Back iron, no. Offensive rebound, though. Tap back out, and Rapid City Central will maintain possession. That was Sonderland attempting that 3. Cobblers, to their credit, they're still trying to run their offense. They're not pushing anything or pushing any panic buttons, just trying to find a good shot. What you like to see if you're Coach Hay. There's a good shot and a 3 for Logan Sonderland, his second of the game. Obviously, it's going to be a long hike to get back in this game, but you still got to run your offense, and you still got to have good shot selection, and that's what they had there. It's 43-21. In the post to DeGroat, kicks it back out. Triple on the way. Too strong. The offensive rebound comes right to Honor. Kick it back to Starks. Another 3 from the corner. No. Offensive rebound comes out to Starks. He'll kick it over for another 3, and this one is good for Brody Knorr. Cannot give the Patriots second chance points, and they had 3 chances on that one. Here comes the trapping defense, nearly stolen away by Starks. Cobblers kind of have numbers. 3 on the way. Bounced around, did not fall for Bissonette. Offensive rebound, though, comes to Smith, but he can't finish. Here come the fast-breaking Patriots. Jaden Henry. What a move for the Dakota Wesleyan-bound senior to get his first points. 48-21. We're under a minute to go and an impressive first half from the number 1 ranked team in AA. This one is stolen away by Starks. In the corner, it's Henry. Now DeGroat, who's been somewhat quiet this quarter, although he had a very loud dunk. Inside he catches, lays it up, lays it in. Count it, and a foul. Chance for a 3-point play, and right when I say he's quiet, Sam DeGroat has quickly hit 20 points. And a chance to go over his average if he can make the free throw. Sam DeGroat is eating well tonight at the Lincoln High School Gymnasium. Chance to finish the 3-point play. Rattles in. 21 for Sam DeGroat, who will get to enjoy the final 27.6 seconds on the bench. He has certainly earned the break, as he has helped the the Patriots, build a 30-point lead. Shot clock is off. See if the Rapid City Central can work their offense a little bit. Might hold for the final shot. Bissonette around a screen. Spinning in the lane with the right hand. Off the back iron. Couldn't get it to bounce back down. Last chance for Lincoln. Erickson. Crossover. Gets it over to Duffy for the 3, and that's about one of the only shots that did not drop for the Lincoln Patriots in that first half of play. Sam DeGroat with 21 points to lead an all-out attack from Lincoln. The number 1 ranked Patriot boys lead Rapid City Central 51-21. We'll take a break and be back for our halftime. You're watching the Avera Health Game of the Week on Midwest Sports Plus.
Finding a place to belong is everything. It's where you can make a difference, where you're heard, where you have a team that supports you, and the benefits you deserve. At Avera, you can find that place. You belong at Avera. Apply today. Avera.org/careers.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, It's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, we turn that opportunity into progress through unbiased research, education that empowers, and a community that lifts each other higher. SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're leading with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Banking isn't just about financial products. It's about service and what we can do for you. Those personal touches are at the core of who we are at Central Bank. Decisions are made locally by people who get to know you. And while a lot has changed since 1877, we're still committed to our customers and to being the best bank in every community we serve. Central Bank, member FDIC.
I often say to my students, it's like, here's the project. What would you have to adapt to make this fit the school where you're serving? And we want to help people be better teachers, better leaders, better instructional coaches, better athletic directors. And so the more we can apply the classroom learning to their local experience, the better that's not just going to be for them, it's actually going to be a benefit to their school community.
125 years ago, Greenberg's Jewelers opened their doors with a single Midwest location. Today, Greenberg's has grown to be Iowa's largest family-owned jewelry chain, with additional locations in Nebraska and South Dakota. Greenberg's has always and always will believe that high-quality jewelry should be within reach for every love story. How do they accomplish this? Over 125 years of buying a lot of diamonds and selling a lot of diamonds. Greenberg's Jewelers, where every diamond tells a story.
Halftime at the Lincoln Gymnasium, number 1 ranked Patriot boys all over Rapid City Central, 51-21. Rapid City Central has 21. Sam DeGroat has that at half. An unreal start to this game for the first team All-Stater. He scored 11 points in the first quarter. And then after a bit of a lull to start the second, he really got cooking, and he's been doing it in every which way, inside, outside. Had a couple of steals, including an emphatic slam dunk, pulling in offensive rebounds. A master class being put in by Sam DeGroat, who, again, he came into this game averaging a hair under 20 points, under 21 points, and here's the play of the half, play of the game so far. DeGroat for the flush after intercepting the pass. DeGroat came in averaging a hair under 21. He has 21 at half, and he almost had 24 when he nearly banked in a half quarter at the end of the first quarter. Well, we started this story at the halftime of the girls' game between Central and Lincoln. Ever wondered why SDSU and USD don't play for a traveling trophy in their football game? Well, they used to. It was the Little Brown Jug. It has an interesting history, and we're also wondering if they might one day play for a trophy, whether it's that or something else. Here's the conclusion of that story right now. Among those who would like to see the Jug return to service if a trophy were brought into the series.
I'm kind of a classy guy, so I would like to see that brought back into the rivalry.
I love tradition. I love history. I look forward to things like that, and so surely I would like to stick with the same trophy. Just dig it out and get it going, rub it, see if a genie comes out of it, and let's see what happens.
There is one notable problem. Neither USD or SDSU claimed to have it when asked for the story.
We got in the conversation about where it was, and we say that they got it, and they say that we got it. And who knows? It's nowhere to be found right now.
Whether the Jug is found and returns or a new trophy is introduced will have far more to do with the administrations and sponsors. The schools already compete for the Interstate Series trophy that's awarded based off results in all sports.
And I appreciate the passion of both our fan bases and talking about trophies and talking about colors of uniforms and all those things. That's great. There's a lot of other things that go into play, things that affect how we do the stuff we do. And I think showing school spirit, having pride, showcasing our universities and the rivalry that we have in this state is important. Ultimately, it's about the kids on the field, and then we'll do some things hopefully to keep it going and keep it exciting.
Last year did see a notable collaboration with both programs wearing their home uniforms for a color rush game, something fans had long wanted and could become a tradition that stretches beyond football.
Honestly, our football staffs came up with the idea, or at least wanted to put it together. Today, you're for blue or you're for red, so I think it's pretty cool on the field.
Whether there's a trophy someday or not, it's clear that a rivalry with deep roots.
It was a great rivalry. It was very competitive, but we had a lot of friends on both sides. I had some teammates from O'Gorman that played for SDSU. In fact, one of them played on the defensive line for the Jackrabbits, and he got me one time behind the line of scrimmage, and somebody got a picture of it. So for my 40th birthday, he gave me a framed picture of him barely tackling me.
Is in good hands with its current custodians.
It does, because they're young men. They're guys that are maybe not as steeped in being here as long as maybe I was, and so they understand that feeling and the importance of having that.
For Midwest Sports Plus, I'm Zach Boyd. State U, the oldest among those who would like to see the U rivalry game in college football. Hard to believe they've never had a trophy. Well, they did once, obviously, the little brown jug, but hopefully someone can find it. If you do, let me know, because I frustrated myself to no end trying to find that thing. We'll be back and see who can find some more points here in the second half. It's been all Lincoln in the first. 51-21. You're watching the Vera Health Game of the Week on Midwest Sports Plus.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, we turn that opportunity into progress through unbiased research, education that empowers, and a community that lifts each other higher. SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're leading with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Banking isn't just about financial products. It's about service and what we can do for you. Those personal touches are at the core of who we are at Central Bank. Decisions are made locally by people who get to know you. And while a lot has changed since 1877, we're still committed to our customers and to being the best bank in every community we serve. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Finding a place to belong is everything. It's where you can make a difference, where you're heard, where you have a team that supports you, and the benefits you deserve. At Avera, you can find that place. You belong at Avera. Apply today. Avera.org/careers.
Just about set to start the second half of action here at the Lincoln Gymnasium. Number one ranked Patriots on a roll, much like the Rapid City Central girls were in the first game, and they won by a healthy margin. Lincoln on top, 51-21, paced by 21 from Sam DeGroat. Reminder, we got a busy weekend of action here on Midwest Sports Plus, and it's going to be highlighted tomorrow by the border battle over at the Sanford Pentagon, featuring games with some of the best teams in South Dakota, Iowa, Minnesota, and North Dakota. It'll all start at 11 a.m. We've got 6 games on tap. And you can stream it all exclusively on Midwest Sports Plus, The Border Battle from the Sanford Pentagon tomorrow, beginning at 11 a.m. Games running all day. I'll be there for a couple calls. Zach Borg, along with producer Chad Berger and our Midwest Sports Plus crew. Glad you can join us once again. Sam Erickson casting away. And that's always a pretty good call for the all-time three-point leader in Lincoln history. He's had kind of a quiet game today. Then he just 6 points. The other Sam obviously doing the majority of the male carrying. That 3 wild and off of Owen Bissonette. It'll go back to the Patriots. We do have a running clock now. We had this in our first game with Rapid City Central and Lincoln's girls. Also have to wonder how much longer we'll see the starters. Long 3 from Erickson. That was NBA range and spun in and out. Looked like it was down and then popped back out again. Can't imagine we'll see the starters very much longer in this one. Here's a triple on the way. Back iron no. DeGroat skies for the rebound. Long pass ahead. And a great connection to Duffy. Well, DeGroat, as I mentioned earlier in this game, he played tight end, and a terrific one at that for the Patriot football team. But there he played a little bit of quarterback with his former quarterback, Brody Schaefer, looking on no less. 56-21, 25-point game. Inside, nicely done there. Owen Bissonette. They get it ahead. There is Brody Knorr. And we say it time and time again, but you just cannot get a moment to breathe against this Patriot team, whether it's their defense. Durant getting through that defense, nearly pulled up at the free throw line, but will now back it out. Even when you hit a bucket, they just get right back on you in transition. Stepping in, putting that one up with the left hand, no good for Sean Smith. DeGroat, another rebound. In the corner, Knorr. Now it's DeGroat again on the wing. They're working it around the world. Along the baseline, that is Erickson with the finger roll. Sam Erickson with his first 2-point basket of the game. He's got 8. Averages 11.6 a game, and he was also a first-team All-Stater. And again, both he and his other Sam DeGroat, will be heading to Augustana next season. Signed, sealed, and delivered for Cody Schilling. We've got an offensive foul here. It'll go back to Luke Hanneman's Patriots. In a 60-23 game, Luke Hanneman in his second season, they went 22-2 last year. We're 4 points away from perhaps going to the state championship game in that 55-51 heartbreaker. 3 from the corner. A little bit strong from Owen Duffy. Almost everyone in this Patriot lineup is nearing double figures right now. Obviously, DeGroat's been the main scorer, but they've got a lot of depth. They don't need one guy to do it all. As Logan Sonderland drains a triple, he's up to 9 points. Splitting the defense is Brody Schaefer over the back. And Brody Schaefer's up to 7. I mean, if you put a clock on it, anytime Rapid City Central scores, it feels like Lincoln in 5 seconds or less is back up the other way. DeGroat with another board. He's got to have close to a double-double right now. We don't have a rebound counter. Here's Schaefer, long 3, back iron, no. DeGroat with the offensive rebound, put back, you bet. First bucket for DeGroat, first points as well in this half. He's up to 23. There's a triple again. Logan Sonderland getting a little heated up here in the second half. He's up to 12. First double-figure scorer. Erickson on the wing. Well, that's normally where he's money, but he hit back iron. Now DeGroat after the offensive rebound to Schaefer. Schaefer fakes the 3, goes strong along the baseline, puts it off glass, but will be called for the offensive foul. I think his teammates were hoping he had gotten the blocking foul. Indeed, it is an offensive foul. We're starting to see a number of Patriots go to the bench. Might be into the line for them in a 64-29 game. We'll see if they get back in, but certainly does not appear as though the matter will be in any doubt, especially with a running clock. Stolen away by Schaefer, who is still in. And he's able to save it to Monk. They run it in transition. Starks back to Monk. Now they set the offense a little bit more. Here's Schaefer with the crossover. Somehow gets that pass away, but it was deflected out of bounds by Rapid City Central. It'll stay with Lincoln, 19. No, actually, I don't know where Lucas Honor was going. Looked like he was going to go play defense for a moment, but it is going to stay with Lincoln. 19 on the shot clock. They get it to Henry, who throws it up, draws contact, and this time they are going to call the blocking foul. And Jaden Henry is going to get a couple of tosses at the charity stripe. Logan Sonderland picking up that foul. Sonderland, by the way, the leading scorer now at 12 points for the Cobblers. Only player in double figures. He only averages about 3.7 a game. Positive for them as they try to look for a little more depth in offense in what otherwise looks like it will be a 5th consecutive loss for a Rapid City Central team that started 2-0 on the season as the free throw spins in and out for Henry. He'll get another. Somebody at the top of the Central bleachers is making a lot of noise. Credit to them, too. Could be a Lincoln student, I don't know for certain, but they're stomping at the top of that gym, and it's making a lot of noise in a building that's, I don't want to say quiet, but obviously with the home team up by this much, they're not quite as raucous as they were in the first half. Duran flips it up, draws contact, and he will go to the line. Landon Monk hacked in the act. And a tough day for Duran. He got a 3 early, but has not been able to get anything going offensively. Lincoln has really hounded him. And for good reason. He was the leading scorer for this team a year ago. Been dealing with some injuries and ailments this year. Nothing but net on the first free throw. 65-30 with the Patriots more than doubling up their counterparts from West River, who will head over to Roosevelt tomorrow. On the flip side, these Patriots will host the other Rapid City program, Rapid City Stevens. Of course, we have that doubleheader. We have a doubleheader underway right now on Midwest Sports Plus between Roosevelt and Stevens. You can do a little picture-in-picture. Oh, nice kick out to Starks. Triple on the way, hits front iron. Rebound, though, Henry. Kicks it back to Schaefer. He works his way inside. Bounce pass to Starks. Another 3, you bet. And that's a kid who is not going to miss twice very often. He had 2 open looks, hits the second. Speaking of hitting, there's Preston Yellow. He's into double figures with that triple, up to 11 points. And a turnover. Yellow behind the back pass, but a little wild. Starks intercepts. One-hand pass. They kick it to Honor. Thought about the 3. Now I'll get it back up to Schaefer. Resets. Schaefer, he'll cast. A little bit off. Rebound to Rapid City Central as we tick down to a minute. Long and high alley-oop feed, but it was intercepted by Starks. Here comes Henry. Dishes off to Honor. He will lay it up and in. Pretty looking transition offense. Lucas Honor up to 6 points. We're under a minute to go here. 70-34. Number 1 ranked Lincoln on their way to 7-0. Nice bounce pass in the paint. And draws contact. Does Dorian Galiga, and he'll go to the line. The 6'5 junior center. Pretty pass there by Preston Yellow. Well, we knew coming into the year Duran was going to be an offensive threat, but they needed some help. And Preston Yellow has actually emerged as their leading scorer. First free throw off the front rim, no. Yellow averaging 14 points a game. Also has 10 blocks, which is notable. I mean, 5'10". It's not like he's Shaquille O'Neal or a 7-footer in the lane, but he can get up and cause some havoc on the defensive end. Both free throws are missed. Landon Monk with the rebound. Patriots again. Schaefer, he's still out there. No look pass. I think it kind of caught Jaden Henry by surprise. Shot clock is off. Less than 20 seconds to go. Schaefer working. Oh, he has it stripped by Waylon Benbow. A little football rematch there. Benbow dribbling in. Now he's trapped, but he gets it to Galiga. Galiga was too deep, and I think he picked up his foot. That'll be the end of the quarter with the running clock. Number 1 ranked Lincoln in full control, up 70-34. Back for the final frame when we return. You're watching the Avera Health Game of the Week on Midwest Sports Plus.
Finding a place to belong is everything. It's where you can make a difference, where you're heard, where you have a team that supports you, and the benefits you deserve. At Avera, you can find that place. You belong at Avera. Apply today. Avera.org/careers.
Start of the fourth quarter at Lincoln High School. All Patriots. Number 1 ranked Lincoln leading 70-34. And some of the starters for the Patriots are indeed back out there. Nice feed underneath and a bucket for Owen Bissonette to start the fourth and final quarter. But Lincoln has their top guys out there. Thought they might keep him on the bench with the healthy advantage. And a nice drive and score there for Owen Duffy as he puts it off the window. DeGroat. I mean, if this were a game that he needed to play the full way, he might hit 40. 21 in the first half. Only 2 in that third quarter, but only played about half of it. Yellow will get to the line here after drawing contact. Preston Yellow, their leading scorer regularly, has 11 points tonight. First free throw splashes home. He joins Logan Sonderland now with 12. Well, smattering of other games around AA tonight. That free throw dances but does not drop. Sam Erickson with the rebound. Crosses over. A bit of a tough pass in the lane, but able to catch. However, they can't get conversion from Brody Knorr. Sam kind of cranked up the fastball on that one, and it was a little too much for Knorr to get a clean catch. Here's Julius Duran. He'll put a 3 from the wing up. Too much iron. Rebound to Owen Duffy. Erickson feeding to Grote on the low block. He'll skip it across court, but it's intercepted by Duran. 3-on-3. He'll pull up from the top of the key and bury the triple. Julius Duran with 8. Lincoln quickly bringing it back the other way. Erickson, 1 away from double figures. 1 bucket, that is, away from double figures, excuse me. Calling for the 3 out there. He was open, but nobody saw him, and would have been a dangerous pass. Here's Knorr beyond the arc to DeGroat. He'll drive inside, big step. Oh, pretty touch. Gonna go out on a limb and say he's our St. Cloud State player of the game, but I think I said that in the first quarter. Kind of happens when you have like 21 in the first half. There's Preston Yellow. Going to be in defeat, but a nice game for him once again. Oh, beautiful scoop for Owen Duffy. He has 9. Almost everyone in that Patriots starting lineup is near double figures. DeGroat has 25. You've got Knorr with 9, Duffy with 9, Schaefer with 7. Wild 3 there off the front iron, and Erickson with 8. Speaking of Erickson, he leads the charge here. Beauty of a feed, but Knorr can't finish, gets his own board, and loses out of bounds. As good a scoring as this team, as adept at scoring as this team can be, Lincoln is very skilled at passing. Sometimes I think they kind of catch themselves off guard with some of them. It's a sense you just can't coach. That one hits off Duran. He does just save it from being an over back. Now he'll drive in, split the defense, kick it out to a wide open Bissonette for 3. Owen Bissonette now into double figures. And Luke Hanneman wants a timeout as he's going to get the subs in, and that should do it for the starting lineup. They'll get a nice hand from the parents and company behind the bench. And now we've got a timeout on the floor from Lincoln. 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. With just 4:45 to go in this one. I mentioned before we got off and running here with the fourth quarter. Smattering of games. Taking a look at some of the highlights here from the early fourth. There's Julius Duran with a three. Of course, some of the big news today in South Dakota high school basketball is that the longtime coach of O'Gorman, Derek Roby, announced this will be his last year. He is stepping down at the end after a long and storied career with the Knights. His Knights fell tonight at Watertown 69-52. The first game after the announcement that he will be stepping away. Of course, the other game we have on Midwest Sports Plus currently underway, Roosevelt ranked third in our power poll on top of Stevens 38-18. That game in the second quarter. You can also stream that one, certainly when we wrap ours up here in the next couple of minutes. Not the only other ranked game tonight in AA for boys. We had a couple of ranked girls games. Three on the wing for Benbow. Too strong. Landon Monk with the rebound. Of course, in our first game tonight, we had Central defeating Lincoln 52-26 on the girls' side. Second-ranked O'Gorman, no problem at home against Watertown. Almost the same score, 56-26. The final in that one. Patriots slowing it down a little bit here. Owen Duffy, basically the only starter along with Schaefer still out there. Get in the lane. Big-time block by Bissonette. They get it ahead to Sean Smith. Ball hangs on the rim, will not fall. Fast break again. Alley-oop. Honor catches and will lay it in. He wasn't quite in position to get up for the dunk, and with his injury, I don't know if he would be able to anyway. But Lucas Honor starting to look a little more like the Lucas Honor they thought they were getting at the start of the season. We got a timeout on the floor, 78-44. We'll take one more break on Midwest Sports Plus.
125 years ago, Greenberg's Jewelers opened their doors with a single Midwest location. Today, Greenberg's has grown to be Iowa's largest family-owned jewelry chain, with additional locations in Nebraska and South Dakota. Greenberg's has always and always will believe that high-quality jewelry should be within reach for every love story. How do they accomplish this? Over 125 years of buying a lot of diamonds and selling a lot of diamonds. Greenberg's Jewelers, where every diamond tells a story.
Well, we are back to action here. It was a very short timeout. Lincoln Williamson getting a quick bucket for Rapid City Central as we are well and truly into the bench for both teams. With a little over 3 minutes to go on a running clock, 78-46, Patriots on top. Here is a look at the bucket for Williamson. Nice spin and fade away for him. We'll do our best to get all the names here. Obviously, some of these players right now are JV guys. But gotta love the fact that they're getting an opportunity to get some time. No doubt Luke Hanneman does. Pass nearly thrown away. It is thrown away. Lathon Mabel, a 6'5 senior off the bench, will get it. Long three on the way. Too strong from Ben Jensen. Jensen, a 5'10 junior. Limited action, but again, with the amount of blowouts the Patriots have had, these guys have gotten some bench minutes this season. As we wind down to the 2-minute mark. Pass intercepted. Long, wild pass ahead. Lincoln somehow able to save that ball and maintain possession. Here's another three on the way for Jensen. Front rim, no. And they will foul Dorian Galiga on the rebound. Still not in the bonus, so the clock will continue to roll. No free throws. Couple more guys coming in off the bench with just 1:45 to go. As I mentioned, both teams will be in action tomorrow. They'll be facing their opposite numbers, if you will. Lincoln will host Stevens for a doubleheader. Nice pass inside, and that one does drop in. As I mentioned, we're well and truly deep into the backup lineup, so we'll get the names out as quick as we can. Here's Mabel. He loses it. Central on the break. Nice pump fake. Shot made there for 2. Nice little finishing kick here for some of the reserves who are out there. 78-50. A floater on the way, a little wild. And Rapid City Central off and running once more. That's Braden Stapert, by the way, who scored the last couple of buckets. And there's Williamson, Braden Stapert, a 6-foot junior. Got a quick stop here from Rapid City Central as Coach Hay will get some more guys on the bench. And again, you see on that bench one of the assistants, Connor Burchill, graduated from here in 2013. Of course, that Burchill name very well known within the Lincoln community. Max got done, well, one of them played over at USD, the other pitched for the University of Minnesota. Got to be a fun time whenever Connor comes back to his former high school and gets to coach, even though obviously probably not too fun tonight with the result of this one. Final possession, 14 seconds and rolling, 78-52 Lincoln on their way to the win. Long 3, off the iron, no. Patriots get the rebound. They will dribble this one out. And the number 1 ranked team in AA looked every bit the part tonight behind a virtuoso performance from Sam DeGroat. Lincoln improves to 7-0, defeating the visiting Rapid City Central Cobblers 78-52. We'll take a timeout and wrap up our broadcast. Get you our St. Cloud State player of the game when we return. Once again, the final. Patriots 78, Cobblers 52. You're watching Midwest Sports Plus.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, we turn that opportunity into progress through unbiased research, education that empowers, and a community that lifts each other higher. SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're leading with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Banking isn't just about financial products. It's about service and what we can do for you. Those personal touches are at the core of who we are at Central Bank. Decisions are made locally by people who get to know you. And while a lot has changed since 1877, we're still committed to our customers and to being the best bank in every community we serve. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Finding a place to belong is everything. It's where you can make a difference, where you're heard, where you have a team that supports you, and the benefits you deserve. At Avera, you can find that place. You belong at Avera. Apply today. Avera.org/careers.
Back one final time from Lincoln High School. Zach Borg, producer Chad Berger, and our Midwest Sports Plus crew. Lincoln winning at 78-52 in boys basketball to wrap up this doubleheader. A couple bits of business to wrap things up. The first one, a reminder that this copyrighted telecast is a presentation of Midwest Sports Plus and Forum Communications. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the express written consent of Forum Communications. And a guy who might want to see this game rebroadcast a couple times is our St. Cloud State player of the game. Through a long and scientific process, we have determined that it's the guy who scored 25 points, Sam DeGroat, the future Augustana Viking. Started this game on fire. He had 11 points in the opening quarter, the first 11 for the Patriots. Really set the tone, and he was doing it in every which way. Inside, outside, number 15, the future Augustana Viking. Complete mismatch for the Cobblers to handle, and was just too much. And did it on the defensive end, too. This is probably the play of the night. the interception and two-handed flush. Sam DeGroat, a more than deserving recipient of our St. Cloud State Player of the Game with 25 points to lead the Patriots to a 78-52 victory and 7-0 on the season. They will host Rapid City Stevens tomorrow. Meanwhile, Central will go across town to take on Roosevelt. You can watch the end of that Roosevelt-Stevens doubleheader right now on Midwest Sports Plus. But that's going to do it for us here at the Lincoln Gymnasium. I'm Zach Borg for my producer Chad Berger and our terrific camera crew tonight. We had the Greasy Burger special. Trent Greasy and Jacob Berger were on the cameras for both of these doubleheader games, and they do a phenomenal job in bringing you the highlights on a terrific Friday night of basketball on the south side of Sioux Falls. Get to the finals once again, one final time. In our first game, we had the Rapid City Central girls winning 52-26 over Lincoln. The boys even the score in game number 2, our Vera Health game of the week. Number 1 ranked Lincoln improving to 7-0 with a 78-52 victory. That'll do it for us. Be sure to join us for the border battle tomorrow from the Sanford Pentagon. Until then, have a good night, and thanks for joining us on Midwest Sports Plus.